Hello there, people who record sounds for Sync Picture. This is a little test video comparing the radio range from whips versus the AudioWireless distro with a set of Lectrosonics SNA600a. Give a little view up here. As you can see, my little selfie cam. Kaboom. These are the bad boys. Those antennae are dipole, so there's like a donut pickup pattern from each of them. So they're traveling in a little 5 meter BNC 50 ohm cable, going into the distro directly. And then the distro itself is feeding one Lectrosonics on one channel, as you can see in the little pop-up, which is going to be probably around here, I think. And then you'll see my selfie video here as I walk away. You're going to see a test of the range. You'll see the RF meters as they go up and down and where they disappear with the whips, and also with the distro. It'll be marked left and right side of the speakers to let you know which one's which. I'm currently on a COS 11, just a little clip here, just so you can see, kablam. On a SMdB on 606, we did a scan before this, and the airwaves are completely clean, so the only people here transmitting is me. So I will now go for a walk, and you'll see what falls out first, the whips and the distro, and then we'll see how far each of them goes. On the right-hand side of the screen over here, you will probably find there'll be a little map that I'll put out as well. So yeah, see you soon, folks. Well, see you now, actually. So here we go. Going for a walk. Spin this round correctly, just so I make that a little bit easier for myself. So as you can see, here's the kit right here, walking away, using an AudioWireless DADM226. It's an analog distro that I bought directly from Aldo at AudioWireless. He's a great guy, gave me lots of information. Hello, Aldo, how you doing there, brother? It's good to see you at SoundPro the other day. I have some things to talk about while I go for my nice little walk. So the DADM226 has 2 output BNC ports, which push out the, they receive on the 2 BNC ports. So you have an A and a B channel. That feeds 6 pairs, so 12 in total, but 6 pairs of little SMA clips. Now the SMA clips can be very usefully powered. So if you have a Micron or one of the newer radio setups that can take power from a distro directly without having to feed it a power source otherwise, you can turn those on. You can do those individually as well, which is pretty damn cool, because it means you can decide what's what power goes where and how far it goes and so on and so forth. They just manage your systems. The distro itself takes a current of 130 milliamps, so it's pretty damn small. I found in using it for the past year, I rarely ever turn it off. Basically, I have the whole thing rigged up on one Heroes cable that's fed from an MP1, of which the distro itself has Heroes input, one of those, and then 3 Heroes outputs, so it can distribute power and push that to wherever you need it. It's very useful. So if I'm turning all my radios off for lunch, I have my 3 SRb typically set up on that, and I will just hit one switch and they will go off, and hit one switch and they will come back alive again, which is pretty cool. Now, so we've covered that. The DADM has analog filters in it, which is probably one of the biggest selling points. It means it cleans up all the stuff below and above 470 to 715 millihertz, which is very, very, very cool. So it means if you have some crazy stuff going down below, or as we've seen at the moment, there's lots of phone signal stuff taking place in, where is it taking place? They're selling off some of the higher chunks. So we lost channel 65 a few years ago, or 63 if you will, and 69 as well. We're constantly losing the upper spectrum. So I'm told that Ofcom is selling off 700 millihertz now. We don't have most of 800 millihertz. So as those signals come down, these filters, which Aldo tells me take off up to 70 decibels of that surrounding signal, it makes it just much cleaner for what's going on with the radio signals which you have and the radio signals which you want, which is great. I imagine we shouldn't Probably got some dropouts somewhere along here. Okay, let's go for the tough test, shall we? We're going to go to the furthest exit, which then goes to a past a little nursery. A little bit more about the DADM226. Has noise isolation of up to 20 decibel or more, in fact, on each output, which is good. So each of the SMAs is pushing out, which goes to your, or feeding your radio receivers. They have actual isolation on those, which is grand. Is there anything else I know of it? Upon directly speaking to Older, I found out that each one of the SMAs also self-terminates. So if you don't plug something into them, you can sometimes lose on other distros a little bit of signal there, or it can just confuse things a bit, or add some RF flatulence, if you will. But if you don't plug something in, then it self-terminates there, which is grand. And I believe it also has quite a number of fail-safes. So if you plug something in incorrectly, it's not going to blow up, which is always useful in this game because it's good to have health of kit. Well, that pretty much covers most of the elements for the DADM226. So yeah, I've walked pretty far. We probably should be getting some dropouts now in the distro from previous tests that I've done. We've gone way out of Ravenscourt Park. We're pretty much near the north end of that. I'm now exiting, as you can see. I've been walking quite a while. My arm's getting quite tired holding this phone. I don't know how Matt Price does it all the time. And now we're about to enter Hammersmith. I imagine there's probably some dropouts taking place on the transmitter from my hip. We placed it on the hip because it's pretty much typically in a lot of drama situations we like to put the transmitter more to the back of the ribs, if not the side nowadays, because it means it gets around backpacks and kind of shows the RF antenna around the body, because we don't always get to point our equipment at people's backs, so we get some range there. Okay, quite far now into Hammersmith Road. It's Hammersmith for you, just down the road from the Brickmill Bottom landmark, for those who know and love the man in this bush. R.I.P. Mr. Mail, player. So at this point we've probably found the end of the range, so I will now take a walk back and see how we go. Nice busy day here. Just trying to find my way across this busy road without dying. Now, personally, I've owned the DADM226 for pretty much a year. I got mine late August, September 2017. We're now in 2018, October 2018. So I've had a good year's run of it. I found the unit to be incredibly simple in that I set it up once and it works, and that's it pretty much. You don't have to adjust much really. It's more a case of just managing what you send power to, when and where and how. I've been using passive Lectrosonics dipoles, so I've not been feeding power to anything yet, but you can feed power from the outputs to any active antenna, which is good. Gives you that option to play with. Just entering now. This is back into Ravenscourt Park where the station is set up. The unit itself isn't very heavy. I have mine integrated into my bag, and for like little PSC or the rare times I have to hang my bag off my body, the whole thing is just in the bag. It just sits in the bottom, which is good, and it has a little 1 meter right angle extension that comes off and goes into the dipole that live in the front of the bag. So I just open the top, zip up, whip up the top of the dipole, zip it up again just to secure it, and just make sure nothing else gets in the bag. And off it goes. It does its job. It gives me that extended range, which is quite nice. You get quite a number of decibels of passive gain. I believe a 1 meter cable length, which is what I have in the bag, I get around 5.5 dB. Someone's probably going to comment and correct me on this, so feel free. I wouldn't claim to be an authority on this. But by all means, Aldo, if you want to chime in here, tell us exactly what's going down, what kind of dB loss we'll have from the passive gain on a pair of dipole antenna with 1 meter and 5 meters of 50 ohm BNC cable. That'd be quite interesting to know, just for reference, really. There have been very few situations where the setup hasn't really won for me, to be honest. I've done quite a few little war zone tests in central London in the year that I've had this. It's not that it flies around corners, but it certainly means I've done a number of situations where I am stationed around a corner from where the action's taking place, and I'm getting signals pretty damn clean and well. One of the things I found that has won exceptionally well with this situation is putting radio TXs on a boom and having those TXs mounted at the end of the pole, and I get incredible length, incredible distance off it. I had one recently with one of my assistants, Taz Fairbanks. She was on a boat with me. She disappeared to the point where I could barely make her out, and thankfully, due to her positioning of the boom, like, she understood what the RF was going to be doing in that position, and also how she was swinging the mic, which was the scalpel, what we call the scalpel, the Sanken TS3E. Beautiful mic that is unforgiving to beginners, which is kind of good and bad. You don't want to give it to a beginner anyway. Who does? Yeah, she managed to get that signal off the action boat to me on the Hero boat with my antenna hidden into the mast, and that worked quite well. I got lots of clean recordings where production didn't think we were, and I insisted we could make it work and make it work safely, and we did. We won the day on that one. It was great, and I believe that the distro certainly helped us with that. It kept everything clean, basically. It stopped any other bullshit or anything we didn't want going into the RF coming at us, bro. Okay, we're approaching the mothership now. Where are we? Just somewhere here, I think. Nearly back. This has been a nice long walk and talk. So you'll see on the screen that way, if I'm correct. I may have inverted it mentally in my mind somehow. But you'll see on that screen there'll be a little map showing the distance I've traveled, the journey I've been on. And then on the left, as I've mentioned, somewhere down here, I'm going to have a readout of the SRb showing you the radio reception on the little, there's like a little signal that comes up and gives you an idea of where it's getting its signal via the dual input antenna setup, so where it's switching from and how well it's doing. So you'll be able to see distinctly, as well as here, but you'll be able to see distinctly what the RF is doing, which is pretty cool. And then obviously this screen, as you can see. Hi. Here we are, we're getting pretty close now to returning to base camp. Where are we? Just here. Shablap. Nearly there now. Nice little bit of walking. And that will be that. Have a little test to see how the DADM with a pair of DADM226 analog distro with a pair of Lectrosonics SNA600a dipole versus the standard Lectrosonics articulatable, great word, articulatable whips going directly into an SRb. Hey guys, did you enjoy that multi-camera V-blogging, if you will, on this device? So there you go, there's the test. You saw where we dropped out, and you saw where we came back, you saw how far we went, and you saw what was doing and where it was doing it. So that's a lot of W's there. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and see you all around.